Hello? Hi. Oh, hey! Welcome to the Tyler Fischer Show and podcast. So excited because I have a guest on today. One of my favorite people in the world. She is a fantastic actor, fantastic comedian, fantastic content creator. Please welcome my good friend, Natalie Friedman!
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hello. Where are you right now?
I'm at my friend's house in LA.
Oh, man. Yeah, you look healthy.
Oh, thank you. Let's get into what does look healthy or what does look healthy mean?
It means you can tell that you don't live in New York anymore.
Oh, okay. I always thought the connotation was that you look plump. That's how I always took it. Because I remember I put on weight when I was like 17, and my doctor was like, "But you're healthy. You're plump.
You're a healthy weight. Yeah. So by that standard, most of the people, 80% of the people that got COVID, they were healthy. They looked healthy. See, that's tricky because what are you supposed to tell them? You look healthy, but also it's not looking so good for you.
But you look well rested.
I do. Interesting. I don't really sleep. So I think I've just learned how to, I just smooth out my face a lot in the morning.
Have you been using a new eye cream?
I don't use an eye cream. I have some kind of face oil, but I can't keep up with it. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but women are just accustomed to you have your routine.
Yeah.
I'm not used to serums and creams and stuff, so I'll do it for like a week and then
I would just try harder. Try harder.
Just try.
How about that?
That's a good place to end, actually.
On that note, thanks for having me, and I give you that advice for everything going on in your life right now.
Well, you have the best advice. I'll say you really you're on the front of apps, technology, culture. If I should have listened, if I listened to you a little bit better, I think perhaps I would be in better terms with my landlord, and as far as paying rent on time and everything.
I don't know about that. I think you're doing all the right things. I know I just checked out your YouTube channel, and your Instagram is like popping right now. Like you have the best thumbnails, you have impressions, characters, stand-up, multi-talented, you've been on TV. So I would say you're doing all the right things.
No, I know, but you did tell me to thank you, but you did tell me to do TikTok.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, God damn it.
Back when the algorithm was a little bit
You're like, dude, like get on right now, start making stuff. And I went home, I was like, Natalie, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not going to. And like, now I'm like, oh, okay, I really should have started that a little earlier.
That's okay. I have a lot of regrets too of just, I think mine is going harder on YouTube. So
interesting.
We can all regret.
Absolutely.
I mean, I regret not starting eye cream earlier. I think I'd look even plumper if I started earlier.
Even plumper. All right. So well, first of all, let's plug your podcast right up top, and then we'll do it again at the end.
Okay. So I'm on a podcast with other women. It's called The Ladies Room on Sirius XM Radio. And it is what the name implies. You will feel like you are actually in the ladies' room, in a bathroom. We talk about everything. And I think guys would learn a lot from listening to it. We really get into it. It's everything from dicks, periods, to pop culture, to relationships, to, women's empowerment. And I think you would have a lot of fun listening to it.
Wow. All right. So when is it on? It's on Sirius.
Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to get on that, just to get on as a guest, but it hasn't been.
Yeah, we haven't had any guests yet. So to have Tyler on as a first guest, let me go ahead and text the producer. Hold on.
No, I assumed it was only women. Are you going to have male guests on too, or?
I don't know. We've never even talked about having women guests. Maybe because they're, we'll see. But I think that we might never have a guest.
Dude, don't. It's like, I mean, I'm thrilled to have you on, but I'm don't do it.
Just play multiple characters. It's much easier for scheduling.
Yeah. And then it gets complicated. Yeah. So, were you filming today? You're a film machine.
I don't know about that. I filmed a little bit yesterday. I'm working on a new original character. And I think for me, what I really am working on is that getting back to that sense of play, like as if I'm a child or playing pretend or just turning on the camera and improvising, having a bit of a plan, and then kind of getting back to that because the pandemic caused, as you know, less collaborations, less in-person meetings. So it's been fun, and I've been collaborating with a few people, and now more people are getting vaccinated, so it's easier.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that you and I are very similar in that we have original characters that we're working on and impressions that we're working on, and then also just playing ourselves too.
Right. Because it's good to be able to do that instead of getting caught up in only knowing how to be a character or an impression.
Yeah.
It's good to also know. See, that's been the hardest part for me, is actually finding my own voice, because I've been doing so many characters. So the podcast now, the goal is to figure out, like, what does my own voice sound like? Like, what are my own opinions? Like, instead of like, what would Bill Burr think about this? Like, what would Tyler think about this?
And you've been doing stand-up so long that I think you're really good at that already. The podcast voice is probably a little more vulnerable, right? A little more
painful. I the first couple episodes I put out, and then I just sat on my couch and it started sweating. Because
I thought that was already happening, but
no, but I extended the sweat panic attack a little longer, because it was like, oh my God,
did you feel like you shared too much?
Yeah, and I probably will. Like, it's gonna be. I always like to aim for something and know there's gonna be missteps, and you're not, So I've just made room for. Oh, I might overshare. I might say something offensive. I might not be funny for 10 minutes, but But now it's getting easier, and it's so refreshing.
It's a good strategy to be offensive and unfunny. Let's do that as two white people. Let's go ahead and.
Well, I got thrown out of a show. I got thrown out of a comedy show.
Oh my gosh!
3 nights ago.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I will. Okay. So I basically, the show was, I mean, you know what a bad show looks like when the crowd is talking, and this was, out of 11 years, probably the worst show I've ever done. And
wow.
I watched comedian after comedian come off stage and just go,
oof,
like talented comics just crumble. And
did any of them have breakthrough moments, or nobody?
No. Everybody was screaming. And so I just kind of like, I didn't get mean, but I was just kind of like, everybody just shut the fuck up. And it was at a restaurant. So the restaurant owner didn't understand, like, the comedians got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
To keep the crowd under control. So he threw me out, and I recorded it, actually.
So wait, they threw you out because what was their number one
because
reason?
I started yelling at the crowd. Just like, I was like, you're ruining the show. There was 2 girls just
that's hilarious.
Yeah. And then
they're like, you're gonna have to leave. Were you like, why?
Well, I finished my set, and then he came up and he goes, can I give you some constructive criticism? And I was like, I don't think so. And he just was like, he nailed into me. So I pressed record on my phone in my pocket.
Yes.
And I've got like a 10 minutes of him just scolding.
Canceled him, not you.
Oh, God, I know. And
that was the owner of the restaurant.
The manager.
And the constructive criticism was, my people are here, don't yell at them while they're eating.
Well, he goes, read the fucking room. And I go, dude, the room is screaming. There's nothing.
He used the F-bomb?
Oh, he just went to town. And then
think you'll ever be booked there again?
No, but it's fine. I mean, Natalie, this was in a long tent.
You're like, it's Morton's Steakhouse.
TGIF Fridays and.
So yeah, how was Chipotle last night, huh?
Oh God, yeah, people are.
Wow, yeah, that sounds, for you to say that that's a worst in 11 years is a lot. And
The room was about 100 feet wide,
wow,
in between the subway grate and 7th Avenue, in a bus lane.
that's really small.
The subway would go by, and then the car, you're in the middle of a subway and a highway, and people were screaming. And I haven't dealt with that in a year, so
That's so icky. I mean, did you think about leaving when you got there, or you're like, I'm not gonna?
Yeah.
Why didn't you leave? Because I feel like I probably would have left.
I told myself you shouldn't. It's not going to be good if you go up there, because I wasn't gonna give in. And I wasn't going to walk off like the other comedians with my tail in between my legs. So I thought, okay.
You looked at it as a challenge.
Yeah. And, you see these comedians who are really good at just like commanding the stage and just negging the crowd and like, I mean,
do you think that, like Amy Schumer would have broke through? Do you think Louis C.K. would have broke through?
Yes, probably with losing a good portion of the crowd, but
wow.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, we all have those shows that you're like, that was one of the worst ever, and I can actually blame it on the audience. I think that, the comedian should never blame the audience, but I think you have maybe like 5 chances in your whole career where you're like, it's the audience. Only Chappelle could have broke through this one.
Well, it's funny you just said that. I was about to use him as an example for not breaking through. When he was in Hartford, Connecticut, he got booed for the entire show, and he sat for the whole time because he needed to be up there to get paid.
Isn't that shocking when you still hear about those recent stories and you're like, but it's Dave Chappelle, and it's like the audience's energy is this mystical, it's like a scientific, you're in a lab and you don't know what you're going to get, and
it can take on a force of its own, almost like the kind of the cancel culture where it just takes on a force and people just have this collective.
I can't believe Dave Chappelle got booed. So
did you ever hear about that in Hartford?
I don't think I heard about it. It's a blur. I heard about, I'm not going to say, but I heard about another big comedian who is really successful. And he's like, I bombed recently. And I was just, what? But it means that we're taking risks and we're putting ourselves out there. And
exactly. Yeah. I have a new checklist now of things I have to do every show, and taking the risk is on it. So I got to go and like report back on my spreadsheet after the show. Like, did you warm up? Did you do this? Wow. Did you say the N-word, which I'm on a clean streak. I haven't done it.
And so I got today.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
What's your, do you have a ritual? We've only done, what do we do? 1 or 2 shows together?
Yeah, maybe 2 together, and then probably have run into each other at stuff in the past. I like to warm up too at home. Some sort of, vocal warm up, getting energized, excited. I like to visualize like getting off stage and being very content and proud.
Great.
And I kind of go back and forth between I'm going to memorize these lines really hard and then I'm going to improv these lines really hard. So that's kind of what I experiment with.
I remember you having a lot of
notes.
Yeah. And you wrote it all out word for word too, right?
Yeah, I was doing that for some jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss
in Pig Latin? In Pig Latin. Yeah.
That way, if the joke bombed, you go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wrote it in Pig Latin."
I just go ex-nay on that, and
ex-nay.
Yeah.
That's really funny, actually. Do you miss performing live? When's the last show you did?
Yeah, I have not performed stand-up for 13 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I really miss it. And I told myself that during the pandemic, I really want to cultivate my characters and TV work and really just take on this life experience that when I get back on stage, it's like Natalie 2.0. So yes, I haven't gotten those workouts in where I'm hitting the stage, and I totally am aware of that. But I also think I've grown so much as a comic in other ways that when I get back on stage, I'm gonna fucking bomb.
Yeah, but maybe you'll have more, I think the good part about not doing stand-up was realizing how much energy I was putting into it, and you need to put energy into it, but it can, doing TV and growing your Instagram page and everything, that's more long lasting. There's more.
It's so funny that I think we kind of both look at each other and we're like, I should be doing that. You're talking about your Excel spreadsheets, and I used to do that after shows, and I'm like, fuck, man, if only I did. Yeah. So I think that with us,
you have to sacrifice as part of, make sacrifices. So.
Yeah, I think I was spreading myself thin a lot before the pandemic with doing everything. And so I kind of took a step back, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take some time off from stand-up, and that's okay. And it will always be there for me. It will always be there for me. Of course, I miss it. And I kind of just wanted to wait until the COVID protocols got better and the capacities could get bigger. And that was my decision. So
yeah. But then, with the path that you went, you were able to build an audience so big that you packed out Caroline's. That some comedians 20 years to do, and some never do it. So, I know you've always wanted, you felt like you wanted to do more stand-up, but you put the work, the heavy lifting into the videos that, look at those guns. Those guns sell tickets, not these little. Yeah,
well, I would like to, I think I don't care. Well, of course, I'd love when more people are in the audience, but I want to keep improving as a comic and get my Excel spreadsheets back.
It's all about the spreadsheets, man.
It is.
If you treat it like a job, that changed everything for me. Once I started, I got a good setup and got a big flat screen TV that I plug into my computer, and I sit down and I have a comfy chair, and then I could sit down and write and edit and
wow.
And I don't.
You still, when you play yourself back, you still have these moments where you're like, only 2 minutes left, or have you gotten used to watching yourself back?
Oh, like watching a stand-up tape?
Yeah.
Well, it depends how I do. I mean, I filmed the one where I got thrown out, and that's going to be hard to watch.
But you're going to do it? You're going to watch it?
I have to. Yeah.
So sometimes what I would do is I'm like, nope, I already know what happened. I don't need to watch this. I know exactly what happened. I take notes like right after it happened.
Yeah.
Right after I go on stage, and I'm like, I don't even need to watch it back. I know it worked. But it's like you still need to see how you held, how you looked, what was your physicality doing, but you're committed to watching every single show back?
Yeah, I don't film everyone because I think there could also be an unhealthy obsession with filming, recording.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so you don't do every single one.
Yeah, when what you just said, if you at this point you probably can trust, okay, I remember what felt good, what didn't. And if you take notes right away, that's another thing I started to do is once I got subway or getting an Uber on my way home, I start taking notes, and then I don't feel like I have to watch the tape back, because sometimes it is like emotional cutting, to relive it,
Yeah. Even if it goes really well, sometimes you're just like, I know what I did. I know what I did, but it's certainly objective to watch every move and.
Yeah. I think now, though, I also film if I'm filming to get a clip.
Yeah.
That way it justifies bringing the camera, setting it up, and then going back and watching it because I go, ooh, I filmed tonight to get that joke so I can post it. Otherwise, they sit on my computer. I've had thousands of sets that they're just sitting somewhere on my computer.
Do you ever get afraid that somebody's going to take your joke, or are you so past that? I know that's like stand-up 101 of just like, hey, I wrote this. I'm saying it in my words. And then sometimes when it's so good, you're like, you're just scared. And I want to say this in the least braggy way possible. And I don't know if that's possible.
It's fine.
But I wrote like these series of jokes. This was before the pandemic. And then Jerry Seinfeld's special came out that he did in New York. And the jokes were so, like, it was exactly my jokes. And I was with my friend and I was like, no! And I started tearing up and I was like, no, I can't do these now. But I'm so proud of myself, but I can't do these now. And my friend was like, why are you crying? And I was like, because I can't do these jokes. And I'm like, but I'm like, for a moment I was like proud, but I really couldn't, I don't think I could have resurrected those to make them my own.
Well, how many of them?
Not a lot. Oh my God. I'm not at master level of stand-up.
You're like, let me look here.
No, I'm still a newbie.
I'm still
a newbie. I do not consider myself a PhD comedian. I look up to comedians, but
that's still a
you've
bad
had those
point.
Moments. We've all had those moments where you're watching another special and you're like, I wrote that, but then you can't.
Yeah. Damn. Geez. Those are my jokes. You stole my jokes.
Just a couple. Okay, just a couple of his. Not, oh my God. If I was you, everyone would know who I am if I was writing constantly at his level.
You know who I've been talking to comedians in cars getting coffee.
Natalie, girl's lying. She didn't write the same fucking thing.
You're like, I even said it in his voice. He even took that high-pitched voice.
Right. So no, it was a shorter series, but you get what I'm saying. It's like,
oh yeah. It's happened to me for sure. And I don't know. I think nowadays everyone.
The Dave Chappelle, Michael Jackson sucking dick bit, right? That was yours first.
That was my bit because I actually did suck his D.
And that's a high bar. How do you follow that?
I was a cute kid. Oh my God. Oh, here, look.
Now, let me see.
Michael
would have definitely talked.
That's so funny you said that because I forgot to talk about this in my last podcast. I was like, if Michael Jackson ever met me, I would be fucked.
Oh yeah, you're the.
You know
American,
what I mean?
Oh my God, that's the American dream right there.
Yeah. So like.
So cute.
Just consider me lucky that I couldn't sing.
You and Macaulay Culkin would have been.
Well, what if he actually just confused the two of us? Like he meant to get me.
I'm just trying to look for Tyler Fischer.
And he's like, there he is. He's like, no. Wow. Yeah.
Well, he really said beat it. You know, he said beat it.
Macaulay Culkin literally took one for me. I owe him.
And now you're just home alone.
Actually, as my roommate dropped a fucking computer, I think, above me.
Oh, good. You have a roommate above you, or just you mean a neighbor?
Above me. It's I live in a house, and so.
You moved. Okay.
No, I've been in the same place, but it's a 5-bedroom house, and I do Airbnb, so that.
Oh wow! You do long-term Airbnb.
Yeah, like a month or so, which that way people come and go, and I don't have to get stuck with a roommate. But as the pandemic hit. It was all Europeans, and they fled. They literally fled the house like overnight. A lot of them left their suitcases here because they're like, "Oh, we'll be back in 2 weeks." They just
Which accent are you doing right now? Irish?
I don't know.
You just blended every single European country. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
I'll be back in 2 weeks. Flattens the curve.
Blended German, Irish, and Bulgarian all in one.
Do you ever do that? Like, because you do have so many voice. Like I do that. Do you do that with impressions too, where you're like? Was that like Cardi B, Melania, and Owen Wilson? Yeah.
Or I'll just blend accents, and I'm like, well, Melania Trump's ambiguous European, so why can't I?
You do her so well, though.
Oh, thank you.
Do you ever do you ever get upset that they're out of the White House? Like.
No, I don't. I don't ever get upset.
No, but for your own selfish reasons, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun when I do Melania, and I'm never hateful with impressions, just like you. So we're kind of on that wavelength. But I think that I trust that there'll be an opportunity to do her, and something will happen, and they'll be seen at Nordstrom's or something, and I can.
Well, there might be an opportunity to do her soon because I think Trump wants to talk to her about running for re-election.
Oh gosh.
Frankly, I thought, Melania, we're going to do it again. 2024, we're going to do it again. What do you think? Frankly, do you think we could do it?
I like to do it again. I like to do it again. Right
You're
now, I can't tell if you're my son Barron or Donald Trump.
Well, I know we have the same hands, babe. We've got the same size hands, but I have a firmer grasp, okay? I can grasp a lot stronger than Baron. You know this. But
You've grasped onto me very much throughout this whole presidency. And I really feel that, it's time for me to turn up my J-Lo factor and find somebody else.
Well, frankly, this is a nasty, nasty thing to say because I've given you everything. And Melania, we're going back into the White House. You're going to have an opportunity to do big things, to redesign the entire place because Sleepy Joe, he's turned the place into a nursing home, babe. You know this. So you're going to be able to tear down this gross wallpaper and do what you do best, right?
My Be Best program is going to help a lot of children, especially Macaulay Culkin after what happened. I don't know. I have to sleep on it if I'm going to stay with you. I have to sleep on it.
Well, you're going to sleep with me then, right? You're going to come sleep with me tonight. And you'll sleep on it. And we're going to watch Tucker Carlson together. We're going to watch Sean Hannity and Ingram. And then we're going to have a great time. We're going to make sweet love. Because you're going to make love to the future president of the United States. We're going to make America great again, babe. We're going to make it great again.
Ivanka? Nobody here to help me.
Nobody's here. Okay. Go take a nap, okay? When you wake up, we'll be president again. And scene.
You had the hat ready to go.
No, I didn't have that planned.
No, I mean, you had to actually go through the motions of ordering the actual hat, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I had the hat and I planned that. I had both.
No, it's great. That was great. I missed doing her.
I left this out once. Like, I just left it on my table. And I have guests coming and going. And I think I may have walked out of I walked to the bathroom with this on. I remember, getting a weird look. But I definitely had a guest come down when I was doing a Trump video, and you can actually hear them walking by in the background. And I'm like, what do they think is going on in here?
They get it. You're a comic, right?
No, I don't. I usually don't tell them.
Oh, that's why they're fleeing and leaving their luggage. Yeah. That's what that is. It's not the pandemic.
I built a wall or just around my.
Yeah, it looks like it behind you. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, are there any new impression? If anyone who doesn't know who Natalie is, and if you don't, you're living under a rock or a bridge. How many impressions do you have? Do you know?
I don't know the number.
Come on, give me your number.
Let me quantify. Well, I'm interested in quantifying that, how many people I've slept with, what my body weight is. I need to get back to quantifying things.
And then how many celebrities who you do impressions of you've slept with.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
Their weight.
Because me and Cardi definitely. So yeah, it's definitely over 15, maybe. New impressions. Let's see.
You do way more than 15. Come on.
Definitely more than 15. Maybe more than 20.
It's Mandy.
New impressions. I've been working on more original characters.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm playing a character in a show. It comes out on April 14th. It's a fun character, and I won't give away what the character is, but I really had fun playing that character.
You say what the show is?
Yes, it's going to be on Netflix on April 14th. It's called Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
I just saw the poster and I saw Jamie Foxx.
uh-huh.
And I remember you told me you were in a show and I
Uh-huh.
remember, and I had a flashback and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I'm excited to see that. I don't know what the final scene will look like. I haven't seen
Sure.
it. So I had fun playing that type of character, and I am going to play that character a lot more often.
There you go. Ask for what you want. You're an ask the universe type of person, aren't you?
I'm an ask the universe. I'm a talk to the universe. I'm a listen to my gut. I remember listening to this YouTube video by Abraham Hicks. I listen to her a lot.
Uh-huh.
And she always talks about getting into alignment. Everybody has their own way of getting into alignment. And then this one time really stuck with me. She's like, stop asking everybody for advice about stuff. And it just kind of, I heard it years and years and years ago. And it was like, of course you can ask, that's what friends are for. That's what family is for, of course.
Yeah,
But when you start asking 4 different people this, because I'm a pretty indecisive person,
Yeah.
then you lose your, so I've really strengthened that of just
that's huge. I think that is.
I've strengthened that, but I'm not saying don't lean on your friends and family. I'm just saying that there's certain things where you're like, because your friends care so much about you, just use a relationship, for example. If some girl is dating a guy, 2 of the girlfriends are going to be like, fuck him, he's an asshole. One of them is going to be like, I support you with whatever you do. The one of them is going to be like, he's amazing. It's like, but nobody else has sat with you. I just gave a friend advice on dating. That's why.
You're trying to make me feel better because the girl I'm dating, all of her friends are telling her to run.
Really? Are you dating right now?
No.
Okay.
I'm kidding. But that's
so I don't know how we got into that tangent, but I am spiritual. I think you are too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I did stop asking for advice, and that was a defining moment because you can have an unhealthy obsession with anything, but certainly in our field everything is so unknown.
Yeah.
You want to go, what did he do? What did Jerry Seinfeld do? Well, we know.
Yeah.
We know what he did. He went and watched you at Caroline's.
Yeah, and stole everything. I don't want your listeners to think that we're like, don't ask for advice. I think it's just about use your gut and develop a relationship with yourself or source or God or whatever it is, even if you're atheist, and then if you ask too many people or if you compare too much, because you're going to have your own path with everything.
I heard this. Don't compare yourself to others now. Compare yourself to you in the past. So you just comparing yourself to your old self. And,
Where'd you hear that? Because I like it.
I heard that Jerry Seinfeld told me that. No, I'm kidding.
Perfect.
I heard it.
Michael Jackson whispered it in your ear, and he was like, I said it yesterday.
Don't compare yourself to me.
Compare yourself to Janet.
It's so useful because we will constantly meet people who are above us career-wise, economically. That's so dangerous because, and I'm sure you see this because you're in Hollywood and you're around celebrities. Are you surprised when you meet a celebrity and they still have that same sort of funk that people who aren't famous have of the compare and despair thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting less and less surprised, but I'm definitely around. I'm so thankful that I'm around very successful peers, and they're so hardworking, and they've unlocked the next level. It's like a video game, and they want the next level.
Right.
And it's like you never get, as Abraham Hicks said, you never get it done. It's just a constantly unfolding journey, and there's no destination. And once you embrace that, then you'll be content where you are, but you want more. I'm content where I am, but I want more. And I do see peers that are very successful they still want the next thing. They still want the next thing. And that's normal. That's human.
Yeah. Unless it's a void that can't.
Right. And I know those people too, where we all do, where it's like they have it all.
Mm-hmm.
and they're not happy. So it's really about, understanding yourself, and I'm, you and I are exposed to the same sort of people. We're all on different journeys, and
Right. Yeah, I just did a show. I was hosting a show, and a comedian, I was about to bring him up, and he's a fairly well-known comedian. And a guy was walking to the bathroom, and he said, "Hey, I love your show that you're on." He's on a TV show. The guy walks away, and then the comedian goes, "Oh, what a fucking asshole." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "He likes me for that show. He doesn't like me for my stand-up." And I was like, whoa, that it was shocking to hear that, because he was so mad that his fan from the TV show came, and that instead of him being a fan of his stand-up. And I go, yeah, but you're going to go out and kill, and he's now going to also become a fan of your stand-up. But I hear these things so much, and I try not to judge them, because I'm not famous. I don't know what that's like, but I always try to remember how icky that felt being around that. Like, don't just try to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah,
should
absolutely.
you ever be in that position.
And I don't think I always tell you, I'm like, I know you're going to make it, which I think you already have, but to the level that you want. And I like, you're not going to lose sight of that. You're going to be grateful when you're at Seinfeld's level, every single fan. And I know celebrities that are at that level, that they're grateful for every single thing.
You can tell when you meet them. Yeah.
Like MJ.
Yeah, he was so grateful. Yeah, he would let people.
He would really let them in.
You know what I mean? He'd put a roof over their heads.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Right. I want to ask you, because people always ask about impressions and I think what's great is you and I aren't like impressionists. I think it's just one thing that we do.
Yeah.
You feel that way?
Yeah, and I'm sure people have called you an impressionist, and it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's it's like being called a Nazi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens, but it is magical. There's something magical about them, and even when I see someone else or see you doing one, I'm still like, it's magic. So, if you don't mind, just talking a little bit about what your process is of developing one, how you latch on to certain ones. Are you possessed by certain voices, and then you have to get them down?
I would say every single impression that I do has its own process.
Mm-hmm.
And some I have to practice more than others, and some they're ingrained, like they're just stamped in there. And then some I just need to hear a quick clip right before I do it, right before I shoot. So every single process, every single one is a different process. That's that. And then I try to find myself in them a little bit.
I never heard that. That's smart.
Yeah. And I'll lightly roast, of course. That's what this comedy is about. But I make sure that I'm not hateful, and I look at their physicality and their tits and their everything.
Look at their tits. I wish that's all you said. I just look at their tits, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah, I try to look at their tits. I try to identify what their nipples would be like, what their day would be like. Do they shave their vagina? Do they not? Do they wax? Do they laser? I try to get into their head.
Good. Yes. Let me write that down.
Yeah, and then
look at the tits.
Yeah, and I think like with one of my popular ones, which is Cardi B, I started doing her a really long time ago, like when she was Instagram famous when I started doing her, and I look back at those old videos and I've gotten better and better, and I'm sure you have that too.
Yeah. Somebody gave me a note today on my Bill Burr, because and I get this a lot, he commented on one of my first Bill Burr videos, and he probably that was 4 years ago. But it's funny sometimes to be like, "Hey, you're getting there. Try this, and that." And I'm
like, I know, bitch.
Yes, and I'm also like, oh, I could actually admit that he's right. Like that, it wasn't great back then. It was good enough, but it's nice to look at those now and not get upset and ego.
Yeah.
So I go, oh yeah, he is right. I didn't say fucking cunt enough.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to remind ourselves, like, we are doing work that is public. So just like any other career, somebody can look back and be like, I've gotten so much better as a lawyer. I've gotten so much better, like, and
Ours is
like, okay, well, do you want to archive your old stand-up stuff? Or so you're saying that you still have older clips up where your impression isn't as good as it is now, and you're leaving it up.
Yeah, because like the Bill Burr, this is like the Bill Burr masterclass where I got all the prosthetics.
Oh, okay.
So it was the best I could do back then, but it's still, I'm like, man, I've done so much work on it. Yeah, but yeah, that would be like if a lawyer had all of their murder trials online and you look back 10 years ago and you're like, man, you really blew it. And the guy got the electric chair. He's like, yeah, that was my first trial.
You see their first trial versus one they did 10 years later. And yeah, I think it's a journey, and I go back to older clips, and it's cool to see the growth, and I still have a lot of work to do, for sure.
Well, that's why you can take my 10-week course.
Your master class.
How to get healthy.
Yeah.
Cardi B has gotten so big since you started doing her, and you have a video, or is it a picture? This video of you doing the impression of Cardi B in front of Cardi B.
Uh-huh.
Does that still shock you? Do you like that you had, or is that like?
It doesn't shock me. But it was cool. It was really fun. And I would love to, it would be cool to get that with every single person I do impressions with.
How many celebrities have you done impressions with them?
One of my biggest regrets is, still toss and turn about it. No, I met Kim, and it wasn't Kim K, and she was one of like my first impressions that went viral. And I think I met her in 2014. So that's a while ago. And yes, everybody had smartphones, and yes, but social media wasn't as big then. It wasn't as much of let's record everything, let's put everything, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I wasn't posting that much on social media during that time. So I met her, and I got a selfie with her, mm-hmm. but not a selfie video. Mm-hmm. So I did the impression for her off camera, and just how much that stings to like the more experienced Natalie would have it ready and out. Right. And she was pregnant at the time. And her security was really nice, and she didn't really let anybody else get around her because she was pregnant, but she was super nice. And that's another person I've done an impression for. And she was like, oh my God, I hope I wish you luck. And so that's so funny. And then I just got the selfie with her after. So
that you learned from that though. You felt that pain and you're like, next time, no fucking way am I going to do that.
But I'm also trying to tell myself that, I don't know if you remember that. That's what, 7 years ago? Yeah, that's 7 years ago. It just wasn't, I don't even remember what social media was like. I don't think Insta stories weren't a thing yet. It was just picture and video.
It wasn't even in your head to do that.
And yes, I still had my phone out all the time, but I wasn't at the social media level that I'm at. I think I had like 2,000 followers.
You know what? That almost feels like it was would be an overreach back then to do a selfie video. I just don't think people.
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe she would have been like, whoa. Maybe not though. She's the selfie. Right.
You may have lost the picture if you.
She may have took the phone and ran.
She may have took the phone. Yeah.
Kim Kardashian is running down the hallway pregnant with somebody's phone. Can we? No.
She tried to do a selfie video. We've never heard of that here. We're live on.
It was very sweet. And then I've been at a restaurant when she was. We have mutual connections, and it'll happen. And
well, I think I am. Safe to say, I'm your mutual.
I think I'll be friends with her, and
I'm your mutual connection. I wasn't going to mention that, but
yeah.
That's how we met, through Kim Kardashian.
Very sweet, though. She's very, very nice and professional. And
do you remember when because you were the first person I thought to call? I think I called her.
You had a regretful story.
Yeah, when I ran into Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
And I thought of you immediately because I'm like, God, she's got such big balls. She would do the impressions in front of the people. And I remembered, I thought, okay, I'm going to do what Natalie does if that ever happens. And then I saw Owen Wilson and I had a complete panic attack.
Yeah.
And I went and I think I called you or texted you. And I was like,
I think you texted after the fact when nothing could have been done.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, to be easy on yourself, you probably used your gut in that moment. I also think man to man, I'm generalizing, is a little different than woman to man. You know, like it's a little bit more acceptable, don't you think, for a woman to be like selfie with a male celebrity?
Yes.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I think so. No, I think you're right. I think it's a different energy. I think it's.
But I think sure, you should have, could have, would have, just like I should have went for it a little more and been like, hey, I'm a stand-up. I do impressions of you. If you have like 30 seconds, can I, but.
I read it. He kind of.
Regret wound a little more.
It's. I have Zoom therapy right after this to heal from this.
That would have been epic, but. You know, I think that we have to trust that there's other.
Exactly.
What's the long-term goal? We're gonna get there anyways.
Yeah, and that it's not even. That's not even a goal. Like the goal isn't do impressions in front of these people. That's just a fun little bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
But
he worked really hard, so
he was so sweet.
He'll get it.
I think
you should just start stalking him. Is what I'm really saying.
You're like, yeah, step it up a little bit, you pussy.
And that was in New York.
Yeah, I think the weird part was I had just walked out of a comedy club where I did the impression of him, like almost at the end of my set. I walk out, and there he is, and my brain just couldn't understand what was happening, and I was like, oh, and I just inside. He's like, what's your name? Tell me your name. I'm like, I'm Tyler. He's like, nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. But I could tell he was just like, you know, exhausted. He was filming a movie. I was like, I was just doing you. I was in there. I was you in there. And he's, you know, so I freaked him out a little bit. Wow.
You're gonna get all the things you want. It's just the path is like this.
Exactly.
So if you ran into Kim, would you be like, I do impressions? Like, would you try to do an impression of her?
Kim Kardashian? I don't even know. I think
what she looks like.
I don't like. People think I'm lying when I say I don't know these certain celebrities or songs. I think you could attest that I don't know much about pop culture. Right? Because there's been times when like you're like, you should do the impression of that guy. And I'm like, who's little Cheesy Wing? You're like, you don't know Cheesy Wing?
I'm like, you don't know Lil Buff Wings?
You don't know Buff Wings?
What the fuck? He has that hit song, Blue Cheese. I'm talking about Blue Cheese.
I'm like, no, I don't. I don't know. What do you think about the song WAP? Do you like the song WAP?
I like the song WAP.
That's Cardi B, right? I'm correct?
Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion.
Okay.
Follow me, drip down the side of me. I love the lyrics, the punchlines, they're comedic. Let me think of like one of my favorite lyrics. They're very gory. They're like
long.
I think it really I embrace my feminine goddess power when I hear that song.
That's good.
And I think the song was very trending on TikTok and very trending everywhere. And I think it's up to the parents to, if you don't want your little girls to listen to that, it's entertainment and it's a song. And just like a rated R movie, you gotta, it's tough because the little kids are on TikTok, but I love the song.
Well, I don't know if you heard.
Holes in this house, just.
Did you hear Dr. Fauci had some concerns about it?
Yeah, what does he say about what to do?
Well, he's like, look, Cardi, I listened to the song and I'm a little concerned because the WAP is spreading droplets because it's a very wet area. And I'm just concerned you could be spreading diseases, venereal diseases.
Here's the thing, like, I went to go get a COVID test or whatever, and they were, like, swabbing up my nose, and I was just, you might as well swab in my pussy. Like, they said that, like, you could detect COVID particles in your rectum. So then, like, I got tested or whatever, so I tested negative. So, like, if I'm, like, in the bed with my man, and, like, I'm squirting or whatever, like, my housekeeper gonna clean that up anyways. You know what I'm saying? So like Fauci, like when you're with your wife, like just get that wet ass pussy wet. And like, I really feel like you should play the song when you're with your wife.
As long as I'm 3 to 6 feet away from the pussy, then I can get it wet. But you have to follow CDC guidelines. This is a very
Cock,
wet
dick, and cock guidelines. And
but the aerosol, you have to wear a mask.
my areola?
I would recommend 2 masks on the vaginal area to prevent wet-ass pussy droplets that can become airborne.
You know what? Like, I really feel like the WAP, like the wet-ass pussy, like, that is something that y'all got to embrace during the quarantine. Like, there was nowhere to go. You can make yourself wet. Like, you don't need no man. And you could have a WAP as a man. You could have a wet-ass penis. You know what I'm saying?
It's very dry, and I'm looking at the number of whores in the house, and I'm very concerned because we need to stop the spread of their whore legs.
You know what? Like, it is up to the individual whore, like, what she wants to do. But I would say that everybody has a WAP in them. Is it a wet-ass pussy? Is it a wet-ass penis? Is it a wet-ass pineal gland? What's it called? In your brain? Like, make yourself wet in other areas of life. Be smart. Be healthy. Get horny. Get sexy. Get money. Like, WAP represents just getting loud, wet, wappy without getting COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say yes, but also try to keep the pussy a little more dry.
That's a little boring, but all right.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
That
Hey,
was deep analysis on WAP, but it was good.
that was a deep analysis right there. Deep analysis.
Okay, here's some lyrics that I like by Meg Thee Stallion on that song.
Okay.
Bite your ask for a car while you ride that dick. You really ain't fucking for I know he got a separate phone just for pictures of this pussy. He got a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy.
Whoa.
Pay my tuition for this wet ass pussy. Now make it rain if you want to see this wet ass pussy.
A separate phone? Wait,
ask for a car while you ride that dick. I'm gonna try that.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Daddy, do you think I could maybe get a Prius?
Oh, okay. See, you're in LA. You're thinking big. I'm thinking she's like calling an Uber while she's fucking him, going like,
ask him to buy you a car. Okay, what's another lyric that I like?
what is the phone for?
Okay, spit in my mouth. We're getting sexual here, but that's a lyric. Hold on, that's a lyric. And I never really thought
yeah,
that
now we're getting sexual. Now it's
I never thought that was like a thing. And now I heard it in like another rap song and I'm like, we're spitting in each other's mouths? Like, is it like I love you?
Oh my God. We're reverting back to birds. I dated a girl once and she was so bad at kissing, I called her the baby bird because she would just it was like I was a mother feeding her. She would just go.
You openly told her that she was bad?
No. Just behind her back. And
okay, good. Or just on podcast. Can we get her Instagram, please?
It was a little tongue that would just like poke out like a bird.
Yeah, did she improve over time?
No.
Okay, good.
No. I just started feeding her worms and then
good.
Oh, the people are spitting in mouths. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's from. I talked about this on my last episode, but the young children getting addicted to porn, I think, is leading to things such as spitting in mouths. Yeah,
but look, I think when you really like someone or you love someone, things can get pretty kinkalicious.
That's true. Absolutely, I'm not opposed to it.
Like maybe some armpit smelling or.
Sure. Pheromones are. See, I'm like really deep into psychology, and
tell me about pheromones. Tell me about men and pheromones. I'd like to hear it.
Well, pheromones. There's a pheromone that is linked to your father that you can subconsciously, you don't know this, actually recognize in other men, and you will not be attracted to this subset of men who share a pheromone. who they men that share a pheromone with your dad, your brain knows it. And
I thought that you would be attracted to that. No?
No, it's I assume it has something to do with like, you know,
because you wouldn't want to reproduce with
incestual.
Okay,
sort of.
I thought that because they always say sometimes you marry your dad in terms of personality or whatever, but
Yes, you might be attracted to someone that has a similar personality, but the pheromones, which are subconscious, you detect.
Hold on, let me talk. My dad just texted me. Yes, you can spit in my mouth.
My mom's calling me right now. Hey, babe. Yeah, I'm just
let me
up with this.
Let me eat your mouth later, Mom.
Yeah. Send me a pic.
Yeah, I mean, it's very fascinating. Very fascinating. I think I've also read, I don't know if this is outdated or if it's a theory, that men are subconsciously, they don't know it either, they're attracted to women when they're on their periods. They don't like consciously like smell it, but I don't know, maybe some psychologists can rebuke this. I'm sure there's like 10 different theories, but I've heard that they.
Okay, so clear this up for me. I should know this. When are women, what's the best period for them to get pregnant? Is it when they're on their period or not?
Tyler.
I was raised by gay men, Natalie. Do you know that, right?
Okay, so it's not when you're on your period, it's when you're ovulating.
Ovulating. Okay, what does the period have to do with it?
The period is the lining of the menstruation of all the fluids that are not the baby.
Okay. No, so I'm just trying to make a connection to why men would be most attracted to.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Kind of like is like the opposite thing. That like, why would they be attracted to you when you're not? But I bet you that they're also maybe when you're ovulating, you have like a look to you or something that. I don't know. I think sometimes when this is a lot for the podcast, but I'm being vulnerable.
Here we are. You started it with old Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no, you guys started it long time ago.
He started it. Look how cute. I mean, like,
it's so cute.
This isn't what you'd think I would turn out. Like, I should be way hotter, right?
No, it matches.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, this is like Ryan Gosling, right? You know?
No, you have a really good photogenic camera face. You're growing out your facial hair.
Yeah, and this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was
2019. Yeah,
you look really tall there.
Yeah, I was way taller.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any psychologists listening. We probably just butchered and insulted your whole field, but
right.
We know about pheromones and there's subconscious things going on that make people attracted to each other.
Right. Don't you think we should teach people more about that? Because when you're rejected by somebody, it may be a pheromone thing.
I was thinking that in high school, you have in middle school, you have the sex education classes.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was more curriculum about like dating and like advice and because that's a real thing to
navigate. It's really, really hard to navigate
healthy relationships, and that would probably save some guys from being assholes, from some girls from being assholes. It goes and communication. But hey, let's change the world, Tyler, and start talking to some principals.
It's got to be. We come in with our pheromone. Have you been teaching about?
Talking about ass pussy?
Yeah, we have this pamphlet on how balls can attract. The smell of a ball can attract a woman. I mean, that's kind of what it is. But here's a great study that it's a famous study. I don't know the name of it. They had 50 women. They took a box, and then they had 50 men. They would wear a T-shirt for 2 days, put the T-shirt in a box. It had a little hole in it. 50 women would smell the T-shirt through a box. Every single woman would pick the most attractive man with the most symmetrical features. Everyone. Without ever seeing them.
Wait, does that mean that most women chose the same man?
Yes. And they also chose the most attractive with the most symmetrical features.
Wow.
Symmetry is a determination of how healthy someone is.
Did you see the Netflix show? I forgot what it was called, but they did a similar test, but people were actually choosing people with similar facial features to themselves.
Oh, interesting.
There's probably a bit of that too.
Yeah.
But obviously there's so many couples that don't look at all like each other, and then there's some couples that do. Who knows?
That's fun to see a couple that looks a lot alike. I'm like, do you realize how much you look alike?
You just use the face swap and just fuck yourself.
You just go ahead and fuck yourself. So I've been hanging out at a lot of circuses looking for bearded women.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll just tell you the second part. They did do the study in reverse. And they had 50 women wear T-shirts to find out who the men were most sexually attracted to. And every single man chose a woman that had a face.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it may be an entry point.
Entry
downstairs?
point,
Any entry point. Doesn't.
ears, nose, mouth,
Wow.
doesn't matter.
So I have a chance.
So I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. Tell us give me some dates again. When is the show coming out so we can see it on Netflix?
April 14th on Netflix. I'm guest starring on Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. Then you have The Ladies Room on SiriusXM every Monday and Wednesday. You can listen to it on the SiriusXM app. It's free. There's probably in your car. Google it. It's very easy to find us. The Ladies Room. Google it. And then my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all Natalie Friedman. You'll see a plethora of entertainment.
Go on there for a fun time. If you've got a week or two off, I mean, just sink in, get some popcorn, and get in the head of Natalie Friedman. It's wild stuff in there.
Thank you. Dude, I'm proud of you. You're killing it.
Thank you. Yeah, we believe in ourselves. That's really it. This is a long journey. There's no making it. I think that I can't stress that enough to anyone who wants to pursue it. You define your own success and you have fun, and you try not to sleep with anyone who looks like your parents.
Yeah, and you create a WAP lifestyle.
A WAP lifestyle. Well, hey, Natalie, I know you've got 4. You're on The View in 10 minutes, and then you're doing 5 interviews.
I'm on Ellen.
And you're co-hosting for Ellen.
So this has been fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming. It's been wonderful. And remember to put a mask on that hole.
Thank
Right?
you. Ew.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/Tyler Talks. That's how you do it. We're here every Monday. Go check out my stand-up, my sketches, and Natalie's too. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you back here on Monday. Ciao.